Welcome to this Wednesday edition of Tullahoma 6 News in HD. I'm Jamie Treadwell. Controversy continues to pile up for the Coffee County District Attorney.
And I'm Shannon Hamblin. Coming up, a new pediatrician who has a familiar face is now seeing patients here in Tullahoma.
First on 6, Northcott has made a comment that some people have questioning his opinion once again. Northcott said in a video last year at a Christian conference that if there is domestic violence in a marriage involving a gay couple, he would not prosecute it as domestic violence because he does not recognize that marriage. The video was posted by the political blog tnholler.com on Monday. In Tennessee, domestic violence crimes carry heavier, more serious penalties than other assaults. Northcott added in the video from last year, social engineers on the Supreme Court decided we now have homosexual marriage and I disagree with them. Northcott was also questioned last month for a Facebook comment he made about Muslims, saying that Islam is evil, violent, and against God's truth. Northcott has declined to respond to any of these statements.
Drugs being laced with fentanyl is on the rise, and unfortunately, music festivals are a hotbed for illicit substance and faux drugs. As Bonnaroo approaches this year, many are already hearing rumors of drugs to watch out for. One of the many drugs that has been talked about in recent days is marijuana laced with fentanyl. Fentanyl is a drug that is most often used to treat patients with severe pain, especially after surgery. Authorities are concerned that the drug will be sold during Bonnaroo via marijuana laced with fentanyl. Another fear is that many may illegally buy weed at the concert event, not knowing that it is laced in this much stronger drug. If that occurs, there will likely be a spike in overdoses. The impact of the drug can be treated with Narcan if first responders know first what the medical emergency is when they arrive. Scary.
That is scary. The second candidate for the Coffee County Director of Schools position has been interviewed. Rutherford County Central Magnet School Principal Dr. John Ash, who was also named by the U.S. News and World Reports as one of the top 5 principals in Tennessee, described himself as a servant leader with high expectations. One of his main goals is to increase academic drive. At Coffee County, he would communicate with business partners to ensure the career and technical education is preparing students for the industry and future needs and trends. In keeping with the old saying, it takes a village to raise a child, Ash did say academic drive is difficult to impress upon students if parents are not on board as well. Ash interviewed for the position vacated by Dr. LaDonna Fall, who retired this spring.
In a stroke of good news, the Tennessee Wildlife Resources Agency is reporting that there were no boating-related fatalities over the 2019 Memorial Day holiday weekend. It marks the 5th consecutive year without a boating fatality over the holiday weekend. During the period from May the 24th to the 27th, there were 5 injury incidents and 6 property damage incidents. TWRA boating and law enforcement officers made 21 boating under the influence arrests, the most since the same number was reported in 2016 over the holiday weekend. The number is an increase from 10 in 2018. Unfortunately, the weekend after Memorial Day was not free from boating-related deaths. A teenager drowned in Grundy County when the boat he was in capsized.
I think another one also drowned in Franklin County. Lots of changes have been happening around Tullahoma City Schools in the restructuring effort at the main office. Jennifer Matlock has officially started her duties as the Human Resource Specialist for the school system. She has just under 20 years of HR experience, and TCS also has 2 other positions to fill that will be working with Matlock. Dr. Craig Carter is leaving, transitioning back to the classroom and leaving vacant the position of Chief Operations Officer. And Mike Rogley is retiring at the end of June, leaving behind the position of Business Director.
Healthcare is the most important decision a person can make. Selecting the correct doctor starts before a person is even born. Your first medical exam starts immediately after birth. Dr. Abby Byram with Tenova Pediatrics in Tullahoma hopes to be able to provide the advice and guidance parents and young patients need. She is a Tullahoma native who has traveled in order to cultivate her approach to healthcare. Dr. Byram even pulls from her personal life to best care for her patients. Here's Abby with more.
I grew up in Tullahoma, and it's been a great place to go to high school, and I had good experiences here. But I did want to see the world, and I experienced that with my husband. And after having children, we wanted to be near family, and we wanted to come back home. And this community is special, and I wanted to continue to provide care for the kids here. You know, I am a general pediatrician. I take care of kids from birth to 21 years old. I have passion for breastfeeding and education regarding breastfeeding, and I have a passion for taking care of children with special health care needs. And I have a passion for taking care of children who have experienced opioid exposure during pregnancy and neonatal abstinence syndrome. During pregnancy, moms who are experiencing challenges with opioid use need to talk to their OB providers as soon as possible, because there are support programs, there are other medications that they can be taking that can improve the outcomes and health of their baby after they're born. The goal is to help moms become healthy and take good care of their babies, and to help babies be healthy when they're born. So everyone is here to support you and to help you make good decisions and take care of your baby. You know, everybody needs to find the right fit when they're looking for their doctor, and patients have the right to choose who their provider is. So if you feel like you're not happy with the provider that you have now, you are more than welcome to change providers. I have working relationships with all the providers in the community, and we have open communication, and we want to provide good care for the children of Tullahoma. So there's an open line of communication between all of us to provide continuity of care. We are located at 1440 Cedar Lane in Tullahoma. We are in the old Richards Supply Building near the airport and the Tullahoma News. All they need to do is call our office. The phone number is 931-393-7060.
Monitoring the health of an infant is not just for pediatricians. All of us should pay attention to the health of the world around us. This weekend, the Hands-On Science Center will host World's Ocean Day. You can think of the oceans as the world's lungs, and they provide the majority of the oxygen we breathe. The focus this year is the fight against plastic pollution. We caught up with HOSC Operations Manager Shelby Brandt to learn about the special events on Saturday and find out more about the meaning of the World's Oceans Day.
Well, that's a good question. So what we're doing is we're doing something called our World Oceans Day, and we are actually celebrating our new aquatic ecosystem exhibit. We have Tennessee Valley Authority who gave us a grant to actually remake it, because ours was a little under the weather, so that's what we've been working on. So that day we are going to be doing a ribbon cutting at about 11:30. The event itself starts at 10 and it'll end at 5. And throughout the day, we're going to be doing different kinds of things that kids can do that have to do with different crafts. And we're going to do a few presentations about the ocean, the importance of recycling and all that. And it's just going to be an all-day thing. It'll be free admission all day. So we're really excited to bring everybody out here for that. Okay, that's a good question. So the ocean itself is a very important part of our world. It's got most of the world's population in it, and essentially we as humans, we produce a lot of waste and things like that, and we dump most of it into our oceans. So this day is just kind of something to just educate both parents and kids alike on the importance of recycling, and how important our oceans are, and what we can do to maintain them and make sure that that they'll last. Exactly, and most ocean life, they just eat whatever they come across, specifically whales. So whales, they come by and they just eat anything they come across. They eat tons of krill, so they'll eat tons of plastic and cans and things like that. And there's plenty of pictures where they look inside them, and it's awful. So it's something that if we all come together and try to recycle and try to reduce that, there's a much lower chance of things like that happening, and make sure that the ocean flourishes. Yes, so turtles, they're kind of the same with whales. They just kind of eat whatever they come across. And with turtles in general, not only do they eat a ton, they also kind of swim into stuff a lot. They're really smart, but in a way, they just can't avoid it. So a lot of times they'll get plastic wrapped around their necks. They'll also get plastic straws stuck in their nose, things like that. So if we can try and use more paper versus plastic, that would definitely reduce the problematic situation.
Yeah, so next weekend we're going to do a few different things. We're going to first be having, we are partnering up with Shelbyville Library and also Tullahoma Parks and Rec. They're going to be here doing different crafts and things like that. And also, I believe the Parks and Rec is going to be doing a show to talk about the importance of recycling and the environment and things like that, and just do a little presentation on it and to show the importance. So before we do the ribbon cutting, so we're going to be doing the ribbon cutting at 11:30. But before that, we'll be doing different crafts starting at about 10, and we'll keep those going till about 5, just so everybody gets a chance to. So people, come on out and bring their kids. We'll make sure to have plenty of crafts for everybody, so everybody can, have fun and bring something home and put it on the fridge.
Coming up next on Tullahoma 6 News in HD, we'll hear about an upcoming card-playing tournament that will provide some serious bragging rights.
And Susan tells us about a novel that uses dystopian fiction to comment on current social events.
Cool off at Southern Middle Tennessee's newest water park, Tullahoma's Splash Island. Fun for all ages. 3 25-foot water slides, lazy river, fun water features for toddlers, tasty food items available. All this and more, only $5 from 10 a.m. to 3 p.m. or 4 to 9 p.m. Sundays, 1 to 6. Join the fun at Tullahoma's Splash Island.
Welcome back to Tullahoma 6 News in HD. In this week's Book Talk, we visit with Susan Stovall, Director of Lanham Library, to see what she's reading and recommending right now for a good book. This week it's The Binding by Bridget Collins. Here's Susan to tell us more.
We have The Binding by Bridget Collins, and she's a YA author. This is her first book for adults, but this is just the most fabulous book. And The Binding has several titles. You can think of this book kind of as a fable. So you can read it at the very simple level, or you can read it with more depth. But anyhow, the premise is that you're set in a world that's, well, it's her made-up world, so it's a combination of medieval and Victorian. It has aspects of both, but I think it's a little more Victorian flavored. And think about a world where you could make your worst memories go away. You could just forget. And that's what The Binding is. This is a world which is very distrustful of books. People have come to distrust people who make books. Books are kind of a forbidden thing. Most of them are under lock and key. But one of the things to know is what they can do is they take your memories, if you pay for that privilege, and they lock them away in a book. And so other people may remember what you did, but you won't remember, and so you're not tortured by that memory anymore. And you can see this has aspects where it could be such a blessing, and it could be, well, think about your friendly neighbor. You could turn into a psychopath, because you could just go, you do something bad, you got money, you just pay for that memory to go away and go on your merry way. But the hero is a young farm boy named Emmett. And in the first of the book, Emmett has been really sick, and he's really weak, and he can't work on the farm anymore. And people look askance at Emmett, but he doesn't know why. And there are people who are giving him the cold shoulder, and he doesn't know why. But he is sent off to apprentice with a binder named Saradith. And Saradith is a very ethical binder. She will take your memories, make the book, keep the book under lock and key. There are less ethical binders who will take your memories and then sell your book so that you could conceivably be blackmailed or just for people's entertainment. Got some really important things to say about our society because, as I mentioned earlier, What if you could make people forget things? What if you had, like, if you went to work for a company, you had to sign off that when you left their employment, you would forget everything that happened there. So there's some modern parallels if you read this. And like I said, it's also a beautiful love story. So you can read it on a lot of levels and it'll go fast. So if you're looking just for something good to keep you entertained, something to think about, or just a fast, entertaining read, you should pick up The Binding by Bridget Collins.
Tullahoma Parks and Recreation Department are committed to providing varied programming to appeal to all members of our community. So grab your partner or register solo for the Tullahoma Rook Tournament on Saturday, June the 22nd at 10 a.m. The tournament will be held at D.W. Wilson with trophies for the winning team. Entry fees will cover the cost of the cards, trophies, and beverages for the event. We caught up with Colton Gunn to learn more about the event.
Yeah, so we're always trying to come up with something new, or if we haven't done it in a while, to kind of revamp it. Always looking for ways to reach different bases of our community. And so I got to thinking of one of my favorite things to do with my family and my grandparents, of course, and decided to have a Rook tournament, and it's going to be on the 22nd of June. It'll be at 10 o'clock here at D.W. Wilson, and your entry fee is only $5 per person. $10 per team. It's going to come with your beverages, and it covers the trophies for the winners, and it comes with the playing cards. So if any of y'all know some of those sly grandparents that like to mark their cards so you know who's got the bird, you won't be able to do it at this one. But we plan on it being a pretty solid event. We anticipate, hopefully having around 32 teams at that price, and it'll be more or less like a 7-hour thing. It's going to be starting at 10 o'clock, and we plan on the winners being determined by 5 o'clock. We'll have a break from 12 to 1 where they can go to the cafe and get some concessions and food and drinks. But we will provide the beverages and stuff for you throughout the day. So it's going to be a good event. It's not for any money or anything. It's all about the bragging rights, and we're going to have a cool trophy as well, like we always do. The reception on it is those tabletop games that we had, and we actually still have a steady base of people that come in and play it. But we're trying to get more into like the competitive style gaming, if you will. And so as you've seen, we've done the Fortnite tournaments and stuff in the past. We've done 2 of those tournaments and had a fantastic turnout from it. And kind of building off of it, we want our events to be something that is fun to go to. And also, you mark it down in your calendar as an event, So our tabletop is more casual, something you could do each week or whatever. These are more of like your monthly or quarterly type events. So we are hoping that this will be one of those events that, people are asking next year, y'all planning on doing another one. And but this will be our test run. So if you just bear with me, I guarantee you it'll be worth your time. Yeah, so if you have questions, just go ahead and call the center at 455-1121. But the best way to sign up is just come by the D.W. Wilson Community Center, and registration is available at the front desk. Just come by on any business hours, and they'll be able to take cash, card, whatever you want to pay with, a check. They have it all taken care of at the front desk, and they'll put down your information and also your partner's information if you have a teammate. And I'll get that copy, and I'll have a schedule made the night before the tournament, and I'll post that on our Facebook page as well. So you have until the 21st. I'm going to keep it open until the very last day that I can, but I want to make sure that I give everybody a schedule and time so they know what time to show up. If we do decide to take walk-ins, I'll let you know.
This week at the City of Tullahoma Animal Shelter, there's a 3-year-old pit mix named Rufus who's available for adoption. He is neutered and has some shots, and he's great with other dogs. He's also very sweet and likes to cuddle. He does like long walks, but also likes to chill on the couch. Mostly, like all dogs at the shelter, Rufus, like all dogs at the shelter, is looking for his forever home. And the Tullahoma Animal Shelter would like to remind you that they always have a great variety of dogs to choose from for adoption. The shelter, located at 942 Maplewood Avenue, has an ongoing need for donations of dog-related items and monetary donations to provide medical care. And the new light tube yard signs are in, and winning $100 just got easier. Simply call the news hotline at 571-7186 and give us your name and address, and a sign will be delivered to your home. Each week, our roving sign hunter goes out looking for new addresses, proudly displaying the light tube yard sign. And if yours is spotted, you could be our next yard sign winner of the month.
If you're looking for some fun and exciting activities for the kiddos to do this summer, Hands-On Science Center has just the ticket. Beginning in June and running through the month of July, Hands-On Science Center will be offering science camps on everything from computer science to zoology. Before and after care is available for all you working parents, and lunch will be provided. A full week of camp is just $125 with deep discounts for members and additional siblings. To find out more of how to sign up, visit hosc.org.
And free lunch, I mean, and you don't have to pack their lunch, that's worth it right there. South Jackson Civic Center will be hosting its annual Performing Arts for Children and Teens camp beginning on June 17th. The camp is open to children ages 8 to 12, and if you have a little budding actor, this is a great opportunity for an introduction into community theater. For more information, check out the South Jackson website at www.southjackson.org.
The Tullahoma Independence Day Regional Celebration is just a month away, but with enough space for 70 vendors, there are still plenty of 10 by 10 spaces available. Prices vary from $45 to $185, and electricity is available. You can also be a sponsor for this exciting event that draws in a crowd for all over Middle Tennessee, not just the Tullahoma area. For more details on how to be a part of this wonderful event, check out the Facebook page Tullahoma Fireworks, or send an email to wbrooks@tullahomatn.gov. To become a sponsor, call 247-1574.
In case you missed the informational meeting, don't worry. Anyone interested in participating in the Tullahoma Adult Baseball League will have until June 29th to sign up and be placed on a team. Players must be 18 to play, and the season officially begins on July the 8th, and there will be 10 to 12 games, as well as an end-of-the-season tournament. Games will be played at 6 and 8 p.m. on Mondays and Thursdays. Players will need to provide their own cleats and bats, and average cost is about $65 per player. For more information, you can call 455-1121 and ask for Colton, or you can send him an email at cgunn@tullahomatn.gov. Coming up next on Tullahoma 6 News and HD, we'll have your work week weather forecast for you.
And not only weather, but we'll also take a look at local sports right after this.
Cool off at Southern Middle Tennessee's newest water park, Tullahoma's Splash Island. Fun for all ages. 3 25-foot water slides, lazy river, fun water features for toddlers, tasty food items available. All this and more, only $5 from 10 a.m. to 3 p.m. or 4 to 9 p.m. Sundays, 1 to 6. Join the fun at Tullahoma's Splash Island.
Welcome back. Well, Shannon, what is the national day for the day?
Today is National Moonshine Day. This beverage has a notorious record of blurring the lines of history and the law, turning ordinary men and women into criminals and common criminals into legends. Moonshine traditionally is an illegally distilled spirit, mostly made from a corn mash. Moonshine is a distilled whiskey that is typically produced by an individual illegally without a permit. Also known as White Lightning, Mountain Dew, Homebrew, Hillbilly Pop, Rot Gut, and too many more to list.
Yeah.
So now, there you go.
You know, actually, moonshine's making a comeback.
Yeah, yes,
now it's
it is.
legally produced, and everybody's making it. So, hey, Chris, let's take a look at the weather. Speaking of a little moonshine, it's about the only shine you're going to see today, unfortunately. We've got about a 50% chance of some thunderstorms, a high of 85, but it doesn't feel quite that warm out there, low of 68. Let's see the rest of the week. I know there's a little bit more wetness in our forecast, and as you can see, it starts on Thursday and it just carries right on through till Monday. 60% chance on Thursday, and it just keeps getting more. 80% on Friday and Saturday, and decreasing a little bit on Sunday and Monday, but prepare to get wet. But hey, Shannon, you don't have to cut the grass this weekend
well,
at
and
least.
we need the
Yeah.
rain. It's actually
Oh,
dried
absolutely.
up.
And if you look, that wetness is bringing down those temps. We're going to be back in the 70s, so that'll be a little relief too. But that is your wet week in weather. Now, what's going on in local sports? Anything good?
In local sports, the accolades keep coming in for Ashley Gillum. She was selected as the Tennesseans Girls Golfer of the Year during the newspaper's annual sports award banquet in Nashville last Friday. Gillum was a standout golfer for Tullahoma last season, helping lead the Lady Wildcats to a state tournament berth. At both the district and region tournaments, the Manchester native took the top spot in both tournaments. In November, Gillum signed the letter of intent to continue her golfing career at Mississippi State. Until heading to Starkville, Mississippi, Gillum said she's going to continue playing this summer. She'll be heading to take part in the Polo Golf Junior Classic in New Jersey on June the 24th to the 28th.
That is so amazing for
Yes.
somebody so young. Can you believe that? Summer workouts began for several Tullahoma high school teams, including the football team, who hit the field running last week. Last year, the Wildcats had a historic season, putting together a 10-3 year before seeing their season end with a 6-2 loss to Maplewood in the quarterfinals of the playoffs. However, a huge portion of players from that team graduated in May. With so many players leaving from last year's team, it leaves plenty of room for this year's squad to make its own name. During the first few days of summer workouts, the Tullahoma coaching staff has been happy with the team's effort. We look forward to seeing the young Wildcats on the field come August. And that wraps up our local sports. We'll be back with a few final thoughts right after this.
This is your internet service at 10 meg speeds. This is internet service at gigabit. No other local provider can match this level of speed. Call us today to get the world's fastest internet.
It's time for every family and business in Tullahoma to go green and recycle. Tullahoma Public Works makes it simple and easy to recycle. Just place your recyclable materials, paper, plastic, aluminum, and cardboard beside your garbage container on the same day your garbage is picked up. Your recycled materials don't have to be in a fancy container. Recycling is not only the right thing to do, it makes sense. Recycling pays. Paying to bury our garbage costs each of us. Please do your part. Let's go green, Tullahoma, and recycle.
And congratulations to you. I understand you have one of those up-and-coming sophomores on the football team.
Yes, I do, and hopefully they'll have a good season.
I hope so too. Before we leave you today, we'd like to thank our news team members, 93.9 The Duck, and your local newspaper, the Tullahoma News, for their help and support.
If you'd like to be a part of the team, send an email to news@lighttube.net or just call our news hotline at 571-7186. Be sure to let us know about any upcoming activity, event, or story idea, and we'll do our best to get the word out. You can also like us on Facebook. Just search for TUA Light Tube, where we update you on the latest news and events.
That's it for this Wednesday edition of Tullahoma 6 News in HD. As always, we thank you for watching, and we hope you'll join us again on Friday.
Have a great evening. We'll see you then.